Hello brothers and sisters, thank you for coming back to watch our videos, and thank you so much for subscribing. Guys, we've been celebrating the Francophone uprising, the Francophone countries of Africa uprising, saying enough is enough. We want to do away with the colonial.
They are called colonial exploiters.
Yeah, we want to do away with the exploitation. But guys, did you know there were agreements that were signed between France and 14 Francophone countries, mostly West and Central Africa, which was in a document called Pact of Continued Colonization. Did you know that? Very painful contract, very painful agreements that were signed. Today we are going to enlighten you on those contracts, one by one. Let's go.
Yeah, on the agreements.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to highlight 11 of these ridiculous agreements that were signed. Alright, agreement number 1. It says the colonial debt to repay the benefits of colonialization.
The colonial debt to repay
the benefits of colonialization. So what does this mean? It means that whatever France built, the infrastructure, whatever changes that it did for you during colonialization, you owe them for that, as if you asked them. It
must be paid.
It must be repaid.
And you know the problem is it's usually paid in, like it's a loan, so you pay in interest.
Who told them to come to Africa to do that? Did you even ask for that?
It's crazy. Second one.
And you wonder what kind of president signs to these things. Okay, second one, the automatic confiscation of national financial reserves. Yeah?
France have a reserve bank, which
Banque de France.
Banque de France. This bank is the one that prints the FCFA, and it's still the one that keeps all these foreign reserves. So in case of anything, they have the right to take all your money and say you are broke.
And you are saying something very true, because these countries don't even know how much they have in those.
Because what happens, they send their reserves, I think like 50% of their revenues they send to France for keeping. But when you are taking back that money, you take it back as a loan, and you have a limit. If you have like 10 million, you cannot take like 8 million. They will say no, you can only take 200,000. You see
how ridiculous.
It's crazy control.
Number 3 is the right of first refusal on any raw or natural resource discovered in the country.
Imagine a farmer goes to his farm,
Mama mia.
and while digging he sees gold, and he goes and tells the chief, you know, I saw gold in my farm. The chief will be like, let me go tell the government. When the government sees that there's gold, it runs to France. France, we found gold.
Daddy, we have discovered gold in the farm. What nonsense is that?
And they have the right.
Oh my goodness.
They
to
have
say,
the right.
No, we are fine, we are good.
Yeah, they have the right to say, no, we don't want that gold. You can now go to the Chinese.
Yeah, you can
or
sell
whichever
it,
partner we are completely comfortable with you.
Working with,
mining your gold.
Wow.
It's crazy.
And some president somewhere signed.
It was blackmail. There's a country which refused, and a lot was done until the country was.
Let's move on. Number 4 says priority to French interests and companies in public procurement and public tenders.
Imagine you cannot give a road tender to China or Russia. But
you'd rather have that road being built for 20 years.
Or never built,
Yeah.
Because
they can do anything they want.
We made a video on the Burkina New International Airport, which was to be constructed by France.
Exactly.
Up to now, there's nothing to be shown.
There's the employees who even died on
And
site.
Captain Ibrahim Traore had to retake it now that they cancelled the shit. Bring our airport, we are going to build it for our own self.
Let's not dwell on these nonsensical agreements. Okay, number 5. Exclusive right to provide military equipment and train military officers of the colonies. And that's the reason we've been seeing a lot of army bases and military bases for France in most of these countries, because they have the right to do this.
They provide military equipment,
And they won't train you to that standard of.
This reminds me of Ibrahim Traore. He sent a minister in the United Nations General Assembly, and the minister was saying, these people, we've tried to buy equipment and they have blocked all this equipment. So we can only go to Russia, China and Turkey to get our equipment, because the equipment we bought, I think from Canada, I don't know where, they have been blocked by France because they have the right to block this and you're not going to buy. Then I remember there was this person who said, when the Mali army took over from these French guys, they had these army helicopters, but not even one military pilot could operate this, because they were never trained. So they have the right to train you, but they train you just like, you see how they train these we call them soldiers, the door people and these guys who scan you when you enter the supermarket. You are trained that you're not trained to be a military.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then even these terrorists come and have a party.
Then you see, you had them saying that even the terrorists have more equipment, more advanced equipment.
Exactly, even the skill.
Then when Ibrahim Traore there was a time he was in radio and said, imagine guys, when I took over this government, we only had 200 AK-47 in the whole country.
Army of that country. Imagine if there's a war.
It's crazy.
And you know, when you go to war, you're the ones that will be sent in front. Yeah, so you are just useless. Even if you go to war, it's not like you help in any way. You're just going to die, and they'll be the ones to remain.
Yeah.
You know, number 6 says, the right for France to deploy troops and intervene militarily in the country to defend its interests. See?
Yeah. That's what they wanted to do to recall.
The coups and all of these things. When they hear there's a coup, they want to come in and they feel like they still own.
They have the right to, if you say no, this is enough, you cannot be mining our resources, and they sent their military. One person was saying that, you see the way the people blocked the ambassador. He was in like a siege. They wanted the police, the Niger police, to arrest this ambassador, and now they will have a reason to intervene. So that was a trap, but the Niger government won.
Number 7, the obligation to make French the official language of the country and the language for education. And do you know where the worst part of this thing comes in? They even teach you a culture, the French culture. So it says here, an organization for the French language and the dissemination of French culture has even been created. It's called Francophonie, and several satellite organizations. These organizations are affiliated to and controlled by the French Minister of Foreign Affairs.
You talked about language. Maybe even the British did the same thing to
us,
the Anglophone. Like you have to make our language your language.
Yeah, our culture.
But I don't think it was so pushed in, because we can see most of these countries have their languages as national languages, like Swahili. I don't know other. They have this choice of having English as the second national language.
But for them, it's French and French and French.
And they don't learn even if they say, for example, in Senegal, they say Wolof, they don't learn it in school. Yeah, you don't. You teach yourself when you're going to town, because most people are speaking that. But you're not learning it in school.
Someone's language, it's like living an empty vessel that you can easily fill with anything that you want. Wow. Okay. Number 8 is the obligation to use the CFA franc. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so these countries are obliged to have that
they have
as their
to
currency.
Use it. Yeah. And I wish Kemiseba, because Kemiseba has been fighting for, guys, I hope you know who Kemiseba is. His videos are on this channel like nobody's business. He's an activist who fights for liberation of African countries from colonialists. And he's been fighting for that, people to drop the FCFA, because it's crazy. It's crazy money.
Alright, number 9, the obligation to send to France an annual balance sheet and the report on the state of reserves. No report, no money.
Yeah, you don't get your money. Remember, they store their money in this bank, Bank of France.
You don't even know how much you have.
You don't. But
you
have to send a report every year. The way you use it, it's like, the way a father gives a child some money and so like, I need to know how you use that money so that I can give you more.
Wow.
Exactly that way.
Oh my goodness, this is so unfortunate. All right, number 10. Renounce any military alliance with other countries unless authorized by France. You cannot play with those kids unless I tell you to do so. Wow.
It's crazy. But we are happy that there's the Alliance of Sahel States. They just came together and said, we are doing it.
We are doing it without this nonsense. All right, the last one is the obligation to ally with France in the event of war or a global crisis.
So, guys, there was World War I or World War II when France took a lot of Africans to go fight its wars. Now that's the case. You see, like there's a war in Ukraine, war of Russia and the West in Ukraine. So if it happens that France has to go to that war, it will come for soldiers in
Gabon,
Senegal,
Mali.
Yeah, that's what
and
it means.
That's the same thing we are seeing with the US using Kenya to go and fight its wars in Haiti. Something similar to that.
Maybe, yeah.
Though it was not the colony.
But that is like something to hide what you are doing behind. Like you are sending police, but because you have other people who will be fighting. This is just the face, but
the French one is direct.
Yeah, you go die then on behalf of France.
Yeah. Even if you don't agree, imagine France is fighting a country, for example, if it was Palestine and France, and you totally understand that France is doing war crimes against humanity in Palestine. Now you have to side with France because they are a former colonizer. Wow. Alright.
Guys, so that is the crazy 11 agreements that were signed. Some people say secretly, but it's not a secret. Thank you to Mama Arikana Chihombori Kwao, our African mom, who exposed this in 2020. We are happy. Guys, let us know what you think in the comment section. Continue subscribing if you haven't, and like and share this video so that more of our African people and other people can learn.
I can get to understand why we are so much against this continued neo-colonialization. Why our people cannot, spread their wings and fly. We have seen these countries trying to fly. Anytime you try to fly, they bring you down, And we are seeing what Ibrahim Traore and the rest of the Sahel states are already doing without France in just a matter of a year or so. Imagine if we were to get rid of all this nonsense, we would be far as Africa. So guys, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. See you in the next one.
Bye.